Chapter 5. My muscles locked. The sheer worthlessness of my 6 years of devotion hit me hard. To Rowan, my bleeding for him wasn't love. It was a cheap, expected service. A tremor hijacked my vocal cords. Listen to me, Rowan. I am done cooking your meals. I am done looking at your spoiled, entitled face. I gripped the phone, knuckles white. If you ever dial this number again, I will call the cops. He shrieked, bursting into terrified tears. I hit end. Tristan showed up that night. No bodyguards. No entourage. His black SUV idled under the flickering amber street lamp. He waited with an uncharacteristic patience. I hadn't seen this version of Tristan since the night he confessed his feelings in college. The untouchable billionaire actually had a flush crawling up his neck back then. Now, he stepped out of the shadows. His dark eyes locked onto mine. Beatrice, are you really trying to pretend the penthouse doesn't have a spare bedroom for you? I scoffed. What is this? The father-son tag team begging me to be your live-in maid. Tristan's gaze traced my jawline. The rigid tension bled out of his stance. I mean, you can come back whenever you want to see Rowan. Hard pass. I cut him off. You gave him your last name. He's your problem now. Tristan's jaw snapped shut, thoroughly choked by his own words. I spun on my heel. In a fraction of a second, an overwhelming, aggressive heat eclipsed my personal space. A massive hand clamped around my waist. He yanked me backward, slamming my spine against his solid chest. Beatrice, the syllables ripped through his teeth. Hot, ragged breath scalded the sensitive skin beneath my ear. Would it kill you to just bow your head and submit? My lungs forgot how to expand. Years of suffocating memories crashed over my skull. The familiar, crushing weight of his control collapsed my chest. I thrashed against his grip, ripping myself out of his arms. My palm connected hard with his jaw. A sharp, echoing crack split the night air. Are you out of your mind, Tristan? I braced for the usual insult. The reminder that I was nothing without him. The screech of tires as he abandoned me on the curb. Instead, a brutal grip snared my wrist. He threw me into the back seat of the SUV, pinning me flat against the leather upholstery. Tristan ground his teeth together. A raw, violent tremor wrecked his vocal cords. Do you have any idea how many years I spent waiting for you to just coax me? He loomed over me, pupils dilated, chest heaving. Didn't it rip you apart seeing Fallon? If you had just given me one sentence, 1 ounce of jealousy, I would have given you the world. His voice cracked, but you just sat there, like AF King, a motionless mannequin. My teeth sank into my bottom lip, tasting copper. What the hell was this? Too little, too late. A delayed confession from a serial cheater? A jagged laugh ripped out of my throat. My tear ducts burned. The blatant infidelity didn't just happen overnight. At first, he actually bothered to cover his track. He swore his business partners hired those escorts. A forced networking formality. But then the red flags multiplied. Lace lingerie shoved between the sofa cushion. Used condoms overflowing the bathroom trash. One night, he stumbled out of the private elevator, drunk, hauling a strange woman into our foyer. He forgot I actually lived there. I never screamed. I never threw plate. But behind locked doors, my knees buckled. Acid corroded my stomach lining. I sobbed until my ribs bruised and my throat bled. I convinced myself this was the inevitable decay of childhood sweetheart, so I swallowed the poison. I meticulously carved my heart out of my chest, piece by piece, and locked it away. Tristan never noticed the blood on the floor. He only saw my icy exterior. My lack of reaction became his green light. He escalated the disrespect, parading his mistresses right in front of my face to humiliate me. And now, he had the audacity to pin me down and demand to know why I went cold. Did you ever actually love me, Beatrice? A choked, guttural sob ripped from his throat. His dark eyes swam with bloodshot desperation. I clamped down on the violent storm threatening to tear my throat apart. Absolute silence stretched between us. My vocal cords refused to function. His phone vibrated against his thigh. The caller ID glowed in the dark cabin. Fallon. Tristan didn't break eye contact. The muscle in his jaw ticked. Beg me, Beatrice, he whispered, the sound rough and utterly broken. Say the word. I'll drop her right now. We go home together. Rowan takes your last name. Chapter 6. Go home? A self-deprecating laugh ripped from my throat. Like father, like son. Both of them were drowning in their own delusion. I gripped his lapels, pulling him close just to spit the words in his face. Tristan, who the hell do you think actually wants a piece of garbage like you? He froze. Unadulterated rage flooded his dilated pupils. He ripped himself away and shoved me out of the SUV onto the pavement. He swiped the screen to answer his phone, glaring down at me with absolute venom. I'm heading back. Tell my son to act like his biological mother dropped dead. He wanted to trigger me. He wanted to see me break. But my chest remained completely hollow. I really was about to die anyway. I was about to erase Tristan from my existence and start breathing again. It was the worst kept secret in Manhattan's elite circle. Tristan worshipped the ground that boy walked on. Cleo called me later that night. Damn, Fallon really knows how to swallow her pride. The whole city knows she's playing nanny to another woman's kid. Tristan's medical records had leaked a while ago. He had a severe fertility issue. His sperm count was basically zero. Rowan was his only shot at an heir. But even with that reality check, Fallon refused to let go of her billionaire meal ticket. True love, right? Moonlight spilled across my floorboards. I swirled the bourbon in my glass and shifted the topic. What time do I die tomorrow? Stand by. The kidnapping goes down in the morning. I hummed in agreement. I threw the liquor back. The alcohol burned a fiery trail down my throat, settling into a warm, comfortable numbness. I spent the last 6 years chained to a toddler. I barely had time to buy groceries, let alone get blackout drunk. As the buzz hit my bloodstream, my mind drifted. The penthouse must be throwing one hell of a party right now. Right on cue, my phone rang. It's super late. Why haven't you dropped off my presents yet? My peaceful buzz instantly evaporated. I told you never to call this number again. I will call the cops on you. I dialed the number for him. The voice shifted. Fallon, you're his biological mother, after all. Tristan strictly forbade you from coming to the party, but I just worried Rowan might miss you too much. I don't miss her. Rowan screamed in the background, cutting her off. I don't want her here tomorrow. She's an ugly, smelly old hag. She'll just embarrass me. Fallon giggled, a sickly sweet sound. Okay, we won't let her come. Rowan doesn't like her, right? The picture snapped into focus. This was Fallon trying to flex on me. Back in the day, she pulled every pathetic stunt in the book to drag Tristan out of my bed, faking a panic attack, threatening to jump off a balcony. Cheap, juvenile tricks. And Tristan fell for every single one. Now, she had my son wrapped around her finger too. She really thought she won the ultimate prize. The joke was on her. I never even wanted to compete for that trash. A dry chuckle escaped my lips. Rowan, I actually do have a present for you. I'm dying tomorrow. Do you believe me? Dead silence stretched for 2 whole seconds. Then, a shaky little voice echoed through the speaker. What are you talking about? Just because I don't want you to be my mom anymore doesn't mean you have to kill yourself. It only took 1 week. He completely absorbed Tristan's narcissistic cadence. Disgust dripped from his childish pitch. Do you really think faking a stunt like that will make me like you? Are you trying to guilt trip me into inviting you to my birthday? Ugh, you are so immature. Every single syllable stabbed like a switchblade. Any other mother would have absolutely lost her mind hearing that from her own flesh and blood. But the ashes in my chest were already cold. Rowan didn't believe me. The physical evidence would teach him a brutal lesson tomorrow. The next morning, I followed Brock and his crew to an abandoned warehouse in Queens to stage the crime scene. I rolled around in the dirt, roughing up my clothes to make the struggle look authentic. I paused, looking up at Cleo. Is Tristan seriously the only billionaire we can extort for this setup? Chapter 7. Before I even finished my sentence, the call connected. Listen closely, Tristan. We have Beatrice. Brock's gravelly voice spoke into the receiver. A heavy pause echoed through the line. What kind of stunt is this? Tristan's voice dripped with bored annoyance. Do you really think faking a kidnapping will make me hand Rowan back to you? Listen, Tristan. We execute the hostage in 3 hours. A low, mocking chuckle vibrated from the speaker. Beatrice, this is pathetic, Tristan drawled, his tone utterly dismissive. You terrorized Rowan yesterday, and now you're trying to play mind games with me? Well then, have fun reuniting with your dead parent. The line went dead. Cleo stood frozen in shock. A second later, pure fury hijacked her features. What a psychotic piece of trash. I'm going to rip his throat out.